Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today I thought we would do a episode 0 for the No Hope Estate. I've kind of teased at this a little bit now that we would have a kind of challenge file for the modded stuff going on and kind of what I had wanted to do. I think I talked about it a little bit in the channel update and some stuff like that. I think everything is up and working now. There's a lot of ifs and a lot of, I think, liberties being taken is the right set of words, but let's get into this because the No Hope Estate, for those of you interested, those of you who don't know, or those who want a refresher, is a modded estate that I've been wanting to do for like the past year, kind of rumbling around in the back of my brain. Actually, I'll go back to this real quick, because originally when I had done the challenge file that I had done like a year ago now, the one where I only was allowing myself like one of each hero. If they died, or was it one of each hero? Was it two? I don't remember. And if they died, I couldn't have another. That challenge file, shortly after that, or even during that, I don't remember, I started this no heals estate, and I got a little bit into it, and I decided that it was a little bit too easy if I was able to just take new heroes and replace them with the ones I had lost, even if I wasn't able to heal in combat, things like that. So that's kind of what prompted me to take this No Hope estate. So the rules technically are I'm not allowed to heal in combat, I'm not allowed to stress heal in combat, and I'm not allowed to stun anything. Then I looked at what that would allow me to do in combat, and I decided I needed to make some personal patches because some of the vanilla heroes would not be viable at all. Because originally I was just going to do this with vanilla heroes, and for example, the Abomination would only be able to use Beast Bile. Because if you think about it, Shackle stuns, and what was it? They wouldn't be able to use their stress heal, and they wouldn't be able to transform because that heals them. So that leaves them with Beast Bile. The Vestal would also be absolutely worthless, and there's a few other classes that would basically be maimed. So originally I wanted to do this and only use vanilla classes. And then when I brought this up in one of the modded discords about how I would make the patches for it, I got talked into using modded heroes. And then it slowly devolved into what it is today. And I had to kind of put some caps on things because people wanted me to keep adding more and more. So that's where we are today with it. So kind of going over what there are in it. There's the basic like gameplay rules. I did add in the no more stress on passing because things like that will happen, trust me. And that's something I wished I had on the last estate. I did add the more available quests. We are using yet another Musketeer rework just so the Musketeer is not a complete, rip-off of the Arbalist. I do believe I have the Yammer redone, because if we go down here, where is it? Here, there's Yammer again, so that means I have some personal changes on it. The Trinkets Plus, of course. I do have this Amara's character UI, so that is what's changing the character UI. Creeping Mist is here. You'll see that I don't have the Mimic mini-boss and the patch here, so we do have a different Mimic in this game. Just change it up a little bit from the last estate. The Sunward Isles are in here, so I do want to point this out, just because I do have the Sunward Isles all in one. I do plan on going through the Sunward Isles. I do plan on fighting, I believe, up to the Raiju. The Night Parade is in Sunward Isles all in one. I'm not sure I plan on doing the Night Parade. The only reason I kept it as Sunward Isles all in one is just for ease of like putting this mod list together. I'm not sure that the Night Parade is going to be viable with this set of rules, just because of all of those waves and then doing the boss without being able to heal in all of those enemies. I think when I did Night Parade, it was like 70 some enemies and a boss. I'm not sure that's gonna be a thing. We have the immersive area backgrounds. So that is all of the background areas. It's like 60-70 per area. So there is a bunch of patches here to make all of that work together. We have the Chose Garden Guardian to make him not a boring fight. I do have Courtyards Plus in here. This is another addendum in there. This is just to make the courtyard not as boring, and so I have ease of access to courtyard trinkets. I don't think I plan on doing the actual courtyard plus to do. I might do the crocodilian, but I'm not entirely sure on that. We have the new Koala's Creature Collection, so this stuff adds like a whole new set of monsters, and particularly there are like crystal or shard enemies or shard mercenaries that we can fight, and this is a really easy way of getting memories and cool new trinkets. So that's going to be really, really fun. We have Farmstead Plus, but I don't plan on doing all the Farmstead enemies. This is particularly just to get the Comet Shards, because we will be using a lot of the Color of Madness trinkets, some Wolf reworks, some Cerebral District reworks because I love them. We have the Cerebral modded adjustments for the Falconeer and the Saw Hunter. Now, once again, these are my personal reworks because the Falconeer had a stress cure or a stress heal on one of the things that I had to take off so we could keep the remove stun, and the Saw Hunter is not working correctly still, but we're taking some liberties with this. So Augur of Erebus, the stun is removed from it. I couldn't figure out how to get the stun off of the riposte though, but I really only plan on using the riposte if I'm using the crystallized cold blood. And with the crystallized cold blood shouldn't be stunning anyway, so that's fine. Then you'll see all my personal patches here. This gets rid of pretty much every heal and every stun and every stress heal on all of the vanilla heroes. So those are kind of funny to look at. The occultist just bleeding with weird reconstruction is absolutely hilarious. We have a new skin for the Duchess, then just some patches here. Then our heroes here, we have a bunch of them. Every hero here, if I planned on using a heal, a stun, or a stress heal, that part of them is basically removed. Like the Oni, for example, with one of her stuns, Inexorable Advance, the stun is removed from that, so she can still mark herself, I believe it was. The heals are removed on her, so she can still get a riposte, things like that. The stuns are removed from the White Priestess. Particularly the regain on curing blight is removed. However, she still has her pour on curing the blight. So that's a little bit of an interesting play. The Wildlander Ripperkin's heal on Feed the Beast is removed. So there's a lot of tweaks to a lot of these heroes. If you've seen this modded mash mixer, Void actually made this kind of at my request when I sent them a huge list of things that I wanted particularly done. So thank you for making this. This is going to make this amazing. What this modded mash mixer actually does is it takes all of these monsters that we have that can spawn, and if a monster spawns in an area, it basically replaces the patches for them and says, okay, well, any monsters, as long as they can spawn in row 1, 2, and 2 can spawn with any other monster. So we're gonna find some really interesting mashes and some very rare monsters that hadn't been popping up very often are popping up a lot more often. It's actually really cool. For the monster mods, we have Project Iron Crown, the Trojan, and the Gaunts. The Pillager's Bagport, we of course have both the Here Be monsters, the other Koala's Creature Collection, we have the Swine Scavenger and the Kraken of course, Wild Hunt, GD2 Warren's Enemies, the Coven, Wildlife Madness, the Lost Crusade, Home for Lost Monsters, Crystalline Harbinger, Bristle and Bone, and It Followed You Home. So like I said, we do not need any of the patches because the modded mash mixer kind of replaces them. And then the It Followed You Home is kind of a call back to Black Reliquary, where certain monsters can turn into the Otek, so you'll see what that is later into the campaign. We of course have the Moon Slime's Less Quirks, where if you see conflicting quirks, those won't happen, or at least most of them won't happen. Missing Caretaker found. Then, of course, Kraken Society mod, because we have some of the Kraken Society. Memorial Grounds District, the Amphitheater District, Cerebral's modded roster. Know Your Curio, so I don't, with my Goldfish memory, I don't forget what goes where. Faster Scouting, Faster Walking, some skins, and that's kind of what's in there. So that's all what to expect in here. I think I said this before, but none of my personal patches will be available for those of you who want to download the link down below. I think I said this before, but my personal patches will not be available in the modded link. Otherwise, I will provide the mods that are available in the thing. So like my version of the Anointed, for example, is not available, but the Anointed will be in the modded list, if that makes sense. And then none of these patches here will be available just because they are private. I didn't upload them to the theme page just because I didn't know how many people actually wanted them. And then the Anointed ones, for example, or like all of the class ones here, I'm not sure that, one, I don't have permission to upload variations of them. I did get permission from a lot of the mod makers to make my private patches for these, but I don't have permission to upload them. And for those mods that I didn't get permission to make the private mods for, if you want me to take them off of this estate, DM me. I am in either the DD Cord or the Iron Crown Discord. We can handle that there. Just DM me. I am open to taking them off, no problem. I just couldn't get a hold of some people, but most of these I did get a hold of people, or they were really open about like, hey, this is how you remove this, just do that. But that is kind of the look at the No Hope estate for this. I hope everyone's going to have fun with this, because I have been looking forward to this for a very, very long time. This is going to be a very painful playthrough, I think, but I am going to be cackling like a madman as some of this happens, I think. Just because, you know, I'm going to be in very bad situations and I have to get myself out of them. I love situations like that, and we'll see what happens. The goals is, of course, just getting through most of the bosses, Sunward Isles, and Vermintide wasn't on here just because I knew some of the bosses were just not going to be viable. So, like, we got all the base areas, all the DLC areas, plus most of Sunward Isles. We'll see about Courtyard Plus, and then the DD4. So a bit smaller of a state, but the plan was to get through a smaller estate while the beta branch was still being somewhat worked on, and modders were like working on stuff I know that they're working about and I can't talk about it, and hopefully they get those out to at least public testing, if not released, so that we can have a really big fun estate. That was kind of my plan with the No Hope estate. If anyone has any thoughts about that, let me know down in the comments. That's gonna be the No Hope estate. So let's have some fun with it. So that'll be it for this time. As always, I wish you all well. See you next time, and please have a good one.